Focus on what you can control. You've probably heard that before. I've heard that before. But are you doing it? Are we doing it? Are we focusing on what we can control? Welcome back to the channel. I am Sherman Rivers, and in this video, I'm going to talk about focusing on what you can control and why sometimes it can be so difficult. And I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag about why it can be so difficult. Because what you think about, what you focus on, is heavily influenced by how you feel, your emotions. And I'll get into why that is and how you can see it all around you. May not have been noticing it, but in short, a lot of our emotional reactions are to things that we have no control over, right? So let me give you some examples. Take politics. It's not a political video, but politics is a great example because everybody knows a little something about politics, and everybody's influenced at least a little bit about what's going on politically. So let's take politics as an example of focusing on what you can control. Because what can you control? What do you have direct control over when it comes to politics? You have direct control over one vote, your vote. That's all you can control. You can't control how other people think and how they vote. But if you spend all day, every day, focusing on what everyone else is going to do politically, what have you gained? It's a lot of focus. It's a lot of energy that's been expended to, at the end of the day, do the one thing that you have control over and exercise your one vote the way that you want to exercise it. Where did all that focus go? Where did all that energy go? So another example, kind of along the same lines, is what everybody else is doing. Right? You may not agree with what they're doing, what they have going on. Suppose y'all wasting time. They're wasting all their energy. They're just wasting it all. And you can see it's so frustrating because you're like, oh man, they got so much potential, but they're just wasting it. Well, can you control that? And if you can't, why would you focus on that? Again, emotions makes you feel bad. You feel sad for them, or you feel this sympathy, or maybe because you did it in the past yourself, or this empathy because you can just imagine they've been through so much. But can you control that? The answer is no. So where's all that focus going? The only thing you can control is yourself. So you've wasted all this focus on something that you can't control. Here's another good example. The past. You can't go back in time, which means you can't change the past, which means you can't control it. So why would you focus on it? All that energy, focusing on the past, over which you have no control. Where's all that focus going? Where all this energy going? This is energy. It's not just focus. This is energy. This is your life's energy being focused like a laser beam on something that you can't control. Imagine if you had a laser beam that had a limited amount of power, a limited amount of energy, and you had to burn a hole into the outside of a container that you were trapped inside of with a limited amount of air. Yeah, I know I said a lot, but just roll with me here, right? You're stuck in this container. You need to poke an air hole in it, and you got a laser. Now, some parts of this container are made from steel, some parts are made of glass, some parts are made of paper, like this really thick paper. Some things the laser can burn, some things the laser can't, but the laser only has so much power. Would you aim that laser at a portion that it could not burn through, or it would take forever to burn through, knowing that you're going to run out of air soon? Or would you focus it on something that it can burn through, somewhere that you do have control, poke a hole in it so that you can breathe. I personally would focus on the thing that I could impact, control in a sense, rather than focusing all that energy on something that where I can't penetrate it. Because sooner or later, laser's going to run out of power. You're going to run out of energy, and you're going to be stuck there, sitting there without energy, just wasting away, unless you can find a recharge somewhere. Part of what I'm doing here, trying to recharge you, trying to give you some energy or help you generate some energy, something like that. So let's talk about the main reason why you need to focus on that. All right, I alluded to you, but let me just clarify it. Maybe this'll flip a switch and you'll see where I'm coming from. Three things. One, time. I alluded to it in that example. Time is finite. Only a certain amount of time. There's a limited amount of time. You have to use that time focusing on things that you can control. You don't want to waste your time focusing on things that you have absolutely no control over. Another is the mental drain. I alluded to that as well. I'm clarifying this thing. The mental drain, your mental energy is being drained. You can only think about so much. Think of your brain as a computer with limited processing power. You can only process so much in a given amount of time. So what do you want to process? What do you want to spend your computing power on? Do you want to waste it on nonsense? Or do you want to use it to crack some codes, to figure some things out so that you can move forward? I like that example. Cracking the code. Spend your mental energy cracking those codes. And even further, moving on the codes that have already been cracked. Sometimes you don't have to crack a code. Sometimes the answer is already there. You just got to think about it, research it, act on it. But the mental drain. And then there's the physical drain. Believe it or not, the stress that's caused by focusing on things that you can't control, they have a physical impact on you. It's a drain. It can make you sick. It can make you tired. You can injure yourself, basically, by focusing on things that you have no control over. Why put yourself through that? It's a physical drain. So focus on the things you can control. That way it'll be a benefit to you rather than a detriment. So how do we focus on what we control, what we can control? Let's run it through the paradigm real quick, right? Sovereignty paradigm. Let's run it all through here. Acceptance. You have to accept those things that you can't control. Let's think about that prayer. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Acceptance. You can't change it, just accept that, right? Once you can accept that, you can let it go. You can release it. Responsibility. If it's not within your responsibility, should you even be trying to control it? And once you can analyze that, run it through that filter, and say, hey, wait a minute, this isn't my problem. You can let it go. What about someone else's responsibility? You can run it through that filter and say, hey, you know what? This is their problem. Let's let them have that. Let's let them work on that. Free will. Hey, is it within their free will to do it? Maybe I should just back on up and let them do their thing and let them accept the consequences. Is it my free will? Maybe I should just go ahead and exercise my free will and do what I want to do. As long as I know I have to accept the consequences. Then we can just take a step back and say, hey, well, what can I control here? What responsibility can I accept? What do I want to do? And then I can focus on that rather than spending all that time and mental energy, physical energy, focusing on something that I can't control. So my question to you is, what are you focusing on and why? What are you focusing on? What has your attention? What is getting your energy? And why? Why are you focusing on it? Why are you giving it your attention? Why are you giving it your energy? Think about that, and you'll probably come up with some interesting answers. In any case, do something to make yourself better, to be better. Not a day goes by that I don't do something to be better. Because if I know anything, I know this. When we become better people, our world becomes a better place. You're more powerful than you know. That power is within you. And I could wish a lot of things for you. But if I could only wish one, I wish you peace. Peace.